Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For my video today, I'm going to be talking about some really hot topics within the luxury community, and that of course is price increases and quality issues. So if you love luxury handbags, you know that the big design houses have been steadily increasing their prices with much more frequency, and they are also raising the percentage, so they're raising the price at a higher percentage than they used to in the past. In fact, in the recent Chanel price increase in February, some of the bags went up 17% here in the United States, and I believe it's even more in other parts of the world. So that is one issue that is really frustrating people. And another one is that even though the prices are going up, a lot of people say that the quality has gone down. So I'm going to be talking about these things today, but I do have a little bit of a different perspective on it because I find myself in a unique position where I've been collecting luxury handbags for about 20 years. I actually have my very first luxury handbag still, which I bought a little over 20 years ago. It is this one right here, and as you can see, it is a Speedy 25 in leather. And then I also have my most recent Louis Vuitton purchase, which I got in December of 2021, and this too is a Speedy 25 in leather. Of course, this one is the bandolier, but they are very similar, but there was a 20-year spread between buying the first one and buying that last one. So what I'm going to be doing is talking about the whole buying process from 20 years ago versus today, and I will be talking about the shopping experience, the buying experience, the price that I paid, and any durability and quality issues or thoughts that I have. So let's get right into it, and we're going to go back in time. All right, in 2002, I was ready to dip my toe into the luxury handbag world. I had been buying designer bags like Coach and Dooney & Bourke and Kate Spade, and they were very good. They were pricey, but I really wanted to take that next step and go up to the luxury level, but I wasn't quite sure what bag I wanted. And at that time there were a lot of logo bags, so like the GG from Gucci, the Oblique from Dior, as well as of course the Monogram from Louis Vuitton, and I wasn't really keen on any of those. But then I saw Epi leather from Louis Vuitton, and that changed everything. I knew at that instant that that was going to be my first luxury bag purchase because I absolutely fell in love with the Epi leather. I had never seen anything like it. It was unique. It looked luxurious. It looked elegant. It looked sophisticated. And I knew that's what I wanted to buy. My problem was that I don't live anywhere near a Louis Vuitton store, and it's about a 2.5-hour ride for me to go to New York City, which is a big ordeal to go to buy a handbag. So the only other choice I had was a website called eLuxury. Now, at that time, none of the big design houses had retail sales available on their websites. They did have websites, but they were more like advertisements to show what their products were, but you couldn't actually purchase them online, except for this one website, again, called eLuxury. Some of you might remember it. And they had all of the luxury handbags. They were all authentic, and they had them all in one place where you can go and buy the bag and be guaranteed that you were getting an authentic item. So they had a really good selection. And so I honed in on all of the black Epi bags, and I narrowed it down to 3. So I was looking at the Papillon, which has become popular again. I was looking at a bag called the Jasmine bag, which was a top handle bag. And I was also looking at the Speedy 25. And while I debated, ultimately I decided on the Speedy 25 because I thought it was the most classic shape. It was also the largest bag, and it was for the best price. So I went ahead, pulled the trigger, purchased the bag, and then I waited because back then shipping was not what it is today. And I did have to wait, I'm gonna say about 2 weeks, or maybe it was a week and a half, but it felt like 2 weeks for my bag to arrive. When it did arrive, it came in a cardboard box, and then within the cardboard box, there was this packaging. So as you can see, this is the old-fashioned Louis Vuitton box that they used to have. They even have the rivets on the side. So as far as boxes go, it was pretty bougie. And then inside the box, they gave me a shopping bag, which I was never really sure why they would have done that. But they did. And then they also gave me the dust bag, and these were the old style dust bags with just the LV on it. So my bag was inside the dust bag, and when I saw it, I remember being so overjoyed because I thought it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, bag-wise, of course. And it was, I mean, the leather was absolutely beautiful. It is, you know, so sturdy, and it was so structured and shiny, and the hardware was gleaming and glistening, and I just fell in love with it. I was so happy with this bag. I felt like $1 million every time I carried this bag, and from the day I got it until probably a year or so later, I carried this bag every single day, everywhere I went. Now, it does not have a top or a strap, and it didn't matter to me. I was going to carry it in my hand. Sometimes I had to put it on my arm. It got heavy. I didn't care. Back then, I didn't know anything about bag organizers or bag shapers, so I just opened it up and threw everything inside there. And as you can see, it's a big old black hole. So a lot of times I was rummaging around inside trying to find my belongings, but it didn't matter to me because I thought the bag was beautiful. The hardware was beautiful, the overall look was beautiful, and it went with everything. In fact, I feel like it still goes with everything. So after a little more than a year, I did switch out to other designer bags that I ended up buying, but I've kept it all these years. I still use it probably at least once a year because there's always an occasion that I want to go to where I have to carry a lot of things, but I want the bag to be really beautiful and classic, and this one really fits the bill. So it is just one of my favorites. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of this bag. So let's fast forward to 2021 and this bag. I had been shopping for the Neo Alma BB, and because I love empreinte leather, and I had this bag in empreinte leather, and I always loved this one, and I love that leather, so I thought I wanted that bag, but in reality you just couldn't find it. It was so difficult to find. It was always sold out. And in the course of looking for that bag, I discovered this one with the giant empreinte on it, and as soon as I saw the color and the giant empreinte, I knew that this was the bag for me. So I went down to King of Prussia for something else. I ended up going into Louis Vuitton to buy some perfume, and while I was there I asked to see this bag, and they had it in stock. They showed it to me, and I really did like it, but I was not prepared to buy it at that time. So I got the SA's number. I told her I would be back in December for my birthday at Christmas, and I would probably be purchasing the bag at that time. So I set up an appointment, and when I came back in December, it was December 11th of 2021, I remember not even having to wait in line. I just texted her to say I was there. She came out and got me. I went back in. She had the bag already for me. I tried it on. I knew immediately I was going to take it. And that was pretty much it. I did not get champagne. However, she did give me lots of perfume samples. She rang me up and she gave me the bag, and off I went in like probably, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. So it was a very quick procedure, but she was lovely and everything went well. So they put the bag in this box because it was Christmas time, and then they put that box in this giant bag here. And so there I was walking around the mall pretty much for the rest of the day with this giant orange bag. So no understatement there. It certainly stood out loud and clear. So it was, kind of a funny feeling to have this big bag and have to lug it around, but at the same time, that was actually the first time I ever purchased a brand new Louis Vuitton in store. Every other brand new Louis that I bought online through their website, or in the case of the black one, it was e-luxury. But it was a really nice shopping experience, and I would definitely do it again or recommend it to anyone because they took really good care of me. So now I want to talk about the prices. So back in 2002, this bag here cost $680. And at that time it was, of course, pretty expensive because it was a luxury bag. In 2021, this bag cost, I believe it was $25.90, and I had to pay tax on this one, of course, because I bought it in person, but back in 2002, I don't believe that they charged tax for this one because it was an online purchase and there was no tax at that time with online purchases. So this one ended up coming out to $27.45. So if you do the math, you can see that this one is over 4 times as much as this one is. And even if you adjust for inflation, so in 2002, $680 would be about $1,155 today in 2023. And that is, you know, it's a substantial amount of money, but this still buries it. This is still twice as much as the inflation value is for this bag. So it's something to think about because the percentages really, the cost of these bags has gone up exponentially compared to in the past. So it's always something to consider. And now that the prices are going up even more, the latest price that I saw on this actual bag was $27.10 just this morning in April of 2023. So lots of money for a bag. Now let's talk about quality, okay? So I want to show you a close-up of my beautiful black Epi leather Speedy. So I am not saying that it is perfect. Like I said, I did not have a bag shaper in it when I got it. I really didn't even think of it. And I did notice that over time, with the weight of the bag, it did start to collapse a little bit on the sides here and on the sides here. And occasionally when I would carry it, the bottom would sag just a tiny little bit, but not nearly as bad as the canvas Speedies do. And I have since purchased a bag organizer for this, which definitely keeps it in better shape. But even so, there's really no creasing or anything on this. So I'm going to give you a real close-up view of the bag from the front. And then we have the side here where the hardware is and that exterior pocket. And the other side as well. You can look at the corners and you can see a little bit of wear and tear, but there's really no marks on the bottom or anything. Now, I am careful with my bags, but I'm not obsessive. So I think that this bag has done extraordinarily well. The handles do have a little bit of rubbing on them, and you're not probably going to be able to see that if I hold it up there. You may be able to see that the leather is worn away just a tiny bit on the interior of the handles, but after 20 years, you would expect that. But the hardware is in really good shape. It's not as shiny as it was when I first got it, of course, but I have never really polished it or anything. It is aging beautifully. It doesn't have those funny black tarnish spots or anything like that. So all in all, I have to say the quality on this bag is phenomenal. It is definitely one of the best made bags that I have ever seen. I like the function of it. Of course, the only problem with it is that it did not have a shoulder strap. You could attach something to the handles if you wanted to, but it does make it hang a little bit funny. And the only other complaint I have about this bag is it's a big black hole unless you put a bag organizer in it. But it's still a fantastic bag. Now this bag, if you follow me, you know this is one of my very favorite bags of all time. It is still in beautiful condition. So I got it for Christmas of 2021. I carried it steady for at least 5 months, every single day. Now, the first thing I did when I got it was spray it with Carbon Pro, and I feel that that has done a really great job. So there's no marks of any kind. There's no rubbing on the corners. The hardware looks as beautiful as ever. The handles are in good shape, and everything looks fantastic from this point. However, I recently have discovered a problem with this bag, so I will show you. It is on the strap. So I was carrying this strap the other day, and I looked down and I noticed that this little loop that holds the tail of the adjustable part of the strap in place, the stitch has completely come out. And it was kind of bad when I first noticed it. I sort of thought, oh no, I should probably take that loop off and do something so that the thread doesn't come completely out. But by the time I got home that day, the thread had already worked itself out, and it's now just kind of sticking up and hanging there. And what I realized when I got home is that you cannot take this off because the hardware on one end is too wide, and on the other end you have the strap in the way, the permanent strap in the way, and so you cannot get it off. So after a little bit of dismay, I decided that the best thing to do would be to contact Louis Vuitton about a repair. So I currently have a repair request in, and the repair procedure was a little bit challenging. I don't know if it was me or if it's just not quite clear, but I was looking on the website and they said if you want to initiate a repair, you need to download their app. So I did, and then it looked to me as if I was going to be able to do all of this through email, but then when it came time to actually set up the repair service, the only options are a call or a video call. So I went ahead and scheduled a call, and then I explained my issue. I also took several pictures and uploaded them, and you know, it's very crystal clear that that stitch has come out and I would like that stitch repaired. I am afraid that the other stitch is going to come out and then the whole little loop will fall off and I'll lose it. And I don't like losing parts of my handbag. And who would, right? So for $2,700, I'm hoping that they will be able to repair that stitch free of charge. I will pay within reason, but I still think that that is something that they should be willing to repair. Now, you can see there's no wear and tear on the bag anywhere, and there's no wear and tear really on the strap other than that little part there. So I can't really account for why that stitch came out, but it is troublesome and bothersome to me because, like I said, this bag is just over a year old and it got nowhere near the steady use that this one did, and 20 years later there is not a single fraying stitch, not a loose stitch, not a thing wrong with this bag. So for the people that talk about quality issues, they may be right. I'm not sure to what to attribute that to, but it is a little disheartening to think that the prices have gone up so much but the quality is not as consistent as it used to be. So from this point on, and I feel like a lot of other luxury buyers are kind of doing the same thing, I'm going to be definitely more cautious and careful about the bags that I do purchase. I'm not going to buy them just because they're the latest and greatest bag. I never really did that anyway, but I did buy more than I'm willing to buy now because I see my shelves full of bags, and you know, I do want to use my bags as much as I possibly can, and I feel like just buying more and more at these more and more inflated prices is probably not going to be the right thing for me. So that has been my experience shopping 20 years ago versus shopping today. I still enjoy my bags, but I'm little disappointed in the missing stitch issue, and I'm a little bit disappointed that the prices continue to climb so much. So let me know what you think about these issues in the comments sections below. If you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video, guys. Take care.